Why would always the pretty girls have to die?
Right?
A well-respected member of the
What up, everybody? This is the group Does. Ace here, Mike here.
What up?
And we're gonna be doing another reaction for you. Probably gonna be doing reactions for a little bit, I think, until we figure out what we're gonna do with this channel. So this one's gonna be from Dark Matter, channel who I've been watching on my channel. If you want to see my channel, link in the description. And this one's called 4 Disturbing Mysteries Caught on Tape. So, are you expecting something good?
Well, he hasn't disappointed yet.
Honestly, yeah, his videos have been pretty good.
They're interesting. They're really interesting.
Yeah, we just reacted to one called what was it? Was it also a mystery one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was another mystery video. So if you want to check that one out, it'll be on my channel. Same mad mystery or same everything, just different channel. So let's get into this one. This guy doesn't upload as often though.
In certain cases, there's not only an unsolved mystery, but also an unexplained video. So from the eerie surveillance tapes of Elaine Park, to the mysterious last few days of John Wheeler, join us.
Say Tupac.
No.
A series of Tupac.
In early 2008, 24-year-old Marilyn Bergeron started to tell relatives that she didn't feel safe at home, and decided to move back to her parents' house in Quebec. During the following week, Marilyn's family became increasingly convinced that something was deeply troubling her, but whenever they brought problems such as addiction or debt, she consistently dismissed them. Then suddenly, she disappeared. Around 11 AM, Marilyn stopped at an ATM and attempted to withdraw $60, though all her attempts were declined. 5 hours later, she purchased a cup of coffee at a Cafe Depot. According to the clerk who served her, Marilyn seemed depressed and eager to leave. This is the last time she's officially been seen, with the only clue coming from the uncovered ATM footage. Eerily, it shows Marilyn looking behind her shoulder several times, seemingly looking for someone.
Maybe she was being followed.
Yeah, she probably was. Maybe she owed
This
money
idea
to
was
someone?
hesitantly confirmed by police, who, whilst they couldn't rule out mental illness, did agree she was staring at something off camera.
Maybe,
Still, the video would be the only clue until 2017, when one of Marilyn's friends, Jonathan Gonfier, suddenly came forward with new information. In an interview, he claimed that 2 months prior to her disappearance, he and Marilyn attended a party together. However, he noticed that rather than her usual cheery self, she was incredibly anxious. Back at her apartment, her mood further deteriorated, and she even started to cry. At first, Jonathan wondered whether she'd been sexually assaulted, or even witnessed a murder, but Marilyn insisted that neither was the case. Instead, she revealed that what she'd experienced was much worse. Because of this, some have offered the idea that Marilyn didn't witness a murder, but may have contributed to one. This would explain her sudden and immediate decision to leave her entire life behind, as well as her paranoia.
Possibly. Maybe like an ex-boyfriend killed someone or some shit.
Yeah.
On the 29th of April 2017, Magdalena Zook was found dead at her Egyptian beach resort. Whilst the 27-year-old beautician's death was recorded as a suicide, her family believe it was murder. According to the official account, Magdalena had booked the holiday as a surprise for her boyfriend, Marcus, but since his passport was expired, she decided to travel alone. Weirdly, however, almost immediately after the arrival, Magdalena sent a series of incoherent messages back to her family. Weirder still, they were sent from the phone of her tour guide, Mahmoud, a man who would soon become a key suspect. Eerily, Polish speakers claim that Magdalena whispered she was raped.
Powiedz mi, kochanie, powiedz mi, normalnie powiedz, proszę.
I think I've seen this. Maybe?
Myszko?
Yeah, I think I have seen this. But like a long time ago.
Ale co robią, co robią? Powiedz mi. Zabierzemy cię. Maciek już po ciebie leci, ale co oni robią? Myszko, powiedz mi, nawet jak się stało coś bardzo złego, ja muszę to wiedzieć. Kochanie, powiedz.
Concerned, Marcus repeatedly asked if something was wrong, but she only replied, M.
Co się stało? Mów. Powiedz śmiało, szybko, będziemy mieli to z głowy. Co M? Co M?
Maybe because they were probably
Ten
listening.
rezydent?
Now more worried than ever, he contacted Polish authorities for assistance, but by this point, an increasingly unstable Magdalena had already been taken to a local hospital, once more accompanied by Mahmoud. Because of this, some believe he had nefarious motives, a belief supported by this mysterious video.
Oh shit.
In CCTV footage, Magdalena violently lashes out at staff.
I mean, yeah, man.
They might be drugged her. And she went.
I don't know. I think she was just trying to get away because, like, when shit like that happens, like, you don't even know who you can trust, man.
Unfortunately, in the following struggle, it is difficult to tell what happens, but many are certain she was injected with a sedative.
Yeah, it looks like that's kind of what happened. They put her ass to sleep. They fucking took her. People are scary, man.
They're crazy.
After this, Magdalena was confined to a private room, allegedly to prevent a suicide attempt. However, when she asked to use the bathroom, she was untied by a nurse, at which point she supposedly threw herself out of the window.
Oh shit.
So the question still remains, what happened? Whilst the autopsy indicates Magdalena had a psychotic episode, her family maintain her behaviour was caused by exposure to a date drug. As to who drugged her, they point to Mahmoud, admittedly a bizarre individual. For one, it's odd why Magdalena consistently used his phone, despite the fact her own phone was fine.
Yeah.
Further, as already mentioned, when asked what was wrong, she vaguely answered M, perhaps a reference to Mahmoud. Of course though, this is just a theory, and the case remains unsolved.
I mean, why would always the pretty girls have to die?
Right?
A
was
well-respected
good
member
too.
of the US government, John Wheeler III had served as a presidential aide for 3 separate administrations. Such a career provided many opportunities, and in 2009 he started work at defense contractor the MITRE Corporation, primarily involved in cyber warfare. However, these same connections have also led to multiple conspiracies regarding his death. On December 31st, 2010, Wheeler was found dead at the Cherry Island landfill in Delaware, about 3 miles away from his house. According to the coroner, he'd been murdered by blunt force trauma to the back of the head, yet his death would only be the start of the mystery. Interestingly, 2 days earlier, Wheeler had arrived at the Newcastle County Courthouse. His behaviour was uncharacteristic to say the least. Witnesses saw him wander aimlessly around the parking garage, seemingly disorientated and missing a shoe. Still, despite the odd scenario, he insisted he was sober. However, the courthouse surveillance video only backs up the witness account. In the tape, an indecisive Wheeler stumbles and swears all over the place, even reaching out to steady himself against a wall.
He was a politician or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably knew something.
He probably knew something was up.
He probably knew something and they wanted to kill him for it.
And then paranoia hits him.
That happens. That happens
Finally,
very often.
as it looks as if he's about to take the exit, he abruptly swirls around and waves his arms, before eventually taking the elevator.
I'm like, fuck. They
Yeah.
found him.
That could have been him, like, signaling
Clearly,
to the camera.
Wheeler's behaviour is odd, but what's the explanation? The obvious reason would be that Wheeler was mentally unwell, yet neighbours claim he was fine prior to that 1 week. The other theory is that he ventured too deep into some government conspiracy and was subsequently silenced.
Yeah.
Supporting this is his aforementioned work for the MITRE Corporation. Supposedly, Wheeler had become obsessed with cyber warfare and was convinced the United States was woefully unprepared for the future of combat. That he came to this conclusion just around his death has raised suspicion, especially since he was responsible for the detection of cyber intrusions on the nation's secure networks. Could it be possible that Wheeler discovered a conspiracy he wasn't meant to, and that he was
Most
drugged
likely.
to prevent him from revealing any information? Adding fuel to this theory is that despite law enforcement's claim that his home wasn't a crime scene, police removed several wooden floorboards from his kitchen, seemingly looking for something. Whether this correlates to conspiracy claims, or whether this means anything at all, remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely some fucking CIA
In late
shit
January
right
2017, aspiring actress Elaine Park went to the movies with her sometime boyfriend. About 1 AM, the pair took an Uber back to his house, and shortly after fell asleep. However, a few hours later, Elaine woke up with a panic attack, and despite her boyfriend's wishes, she drove off about 6 AM. She hasn't been seen since.
there. Damn.
The day after her disappearance, her mother became increasingly concerned and filed a missing persons report. 5 days later, Elaine's car was discovered on the highway, about a 30-minute drive from her boyfriend's house. Bizarrely, the door was unlocked, with the car keys still in the ignition, whilst her personal items, namely her money, cell phone and purse, were all still present. Authorities
Damn, she got her
immediately
ass
brought in
dragged out.
bloodhounds and even divers to scour the area, but found no trace of Elaine. They then turned to her boyfriend, collecting the surveillance tapes from his house. These include when the couple first left for the movie, when they later returned that night, and eventually when Elaine left in the morning. Now, initially, they seem to prove his innocence, yet many remain skeptical about the third video. For one, the tape doesn't show Elaine enter her car, but instead mysteriously and suddenly cuts off. However, the most peculiar piece of evidence is that in both the video in which Elaine leaves and the one in which the couple leave together, there are two distinct and identical shadows that appear at exactly the same time in exactly the same place. Because of this, some believe that the two tapes are one and the same, but that the boyfriend
comes
was
out of the
able to
frame.
edit himself out.
In other words, they could be loop tapes.
It could be a loop, yeah. But it looks like they definitely messed with it and they cut it. And then, like, they probably took the footage out, edited it, and then put it back in.
Wouldn't be the first time something like that happens.
As seen, the same two shadows flash past the wall, except this time, Elaine is nowhere near them.
Is that her running?
Yeah.
Damn.
With this, the question remains, if no one is there, who is responsible for them?
Yeah. Damn, son. Man, shit like this happens on a daily basis too, man. So it's sad.
It's always a pretty girl, bro.
And no, damn, she was pretty too. It's a damn shame, bro. There's so much bad in the world.
Ain't gonna change.
Especially this year, it's kind of hard to see. Usually you could say like there's a lot of bad, but there's a lot of good. But like this year, it's just been fucking just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of doing gaming videos, we're doing reaction videos. And yeah. Or vlogs. I really want to do vlogs again. I hope we can do some vlogs eventually again. So guys, leave us suggestions for stuff you want us to do with the channel. Say hi to Zena. Zena.
Chill. Just chilling.
So give us some ideas for videos, suggestions for reactions, or anything else you think we can do in quarantine.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. And check out Ace Enigma.
Deuces, guys.
Deuce.